welcome back to the Shoogly shed. As I mentioned in the last episode, we're moving on to something a little bit different for a wee while. The XGR has come off the stand and is being wrapped up, and we have something new in the shed. Okay team, this is not a drill. This is a 1985 Yamaha V-Max in really good condition that I am feeling slightly conflicted about taking to bits. Okay, I know a lot of people will mourn the loss of an original 1985 V-Max, you know, the classic big muscle cruiser thing that this is. However, don't cry too much because it has been tampered with a little bit already. It's got different wheel set on it. There's upgraded 17-inch rear wheels. I think they're like off an FJ 600 or 900, something like that. Blue dot brake upgrade as well. A few other bits and pieces, you know, different grips and such. Different exhaust system on it too. There's a Velkevich stainless thing on this. So it has been fettled and tampered with a little bit. It wouldn't be a lot of work to put it back to original and restore it. However, I feel like that's reason enough because we want to do a full custom build on this. So when I say we, I'm talking about Jon Beckett, who is 78_outlaw on Instagram. Check him out. Jon does a lot of motorbike riding. He has a Triumph Rocket, and he also drives a hill climbing car, a 78 Corvette. So yeah, Jon's a bit of a petrol head and he's pretty psyched to build a bike with me, and I'm psyched to build a bike for him. Like I said in the last episode, it's quite fun to build a bike for someone and not have to foot the bill. Anyway, we know that there is a pretty cool bike hiding in this big kind of chunky muscle bike here, so we've got some cool plans ahead. Basically, this is a little bit of an introduction to this bike. And we're going to begin just taking a few bits of the plastics and stuff off this and talking about the base bike underneath, and see, you know, just see what's what, get the lay of the land. Jon and I have had a few discussions about what kind of angle we're going for with this build, but he wants to, you know, give me as much sort of artistic license, as it were, as possible. But obviously it's his bike at the end of the day, so I'm going to take my lead with major decisions from him. However, it just arrived last night. It's in really good nick. It's been tarted up and spruced up a wee bit. The engine's clearly been repainted at some point. I think it's been resprayed at some point. There's a wee patch here that's been chipped off that shows it might have been red originally. This is an import bike. I can't remember where it was imported from exactly, but it is declared manufactured 1985, and the serial number and all that, you know, confirms that. So it is one of the first generation V-Maxes, and like I say, it might be a little bit of a shame to take it apart and butcher it, as it were, but you know, it's just custom bikes, isn't it? You know, you kind of you know, you want a bike to be yours, and yeah, some purists out there might be crying, but hey ho, you know, this is a custom bike shop, isn't it? So, you know, it's my job. quite funny actually when you take these side bits off, because they mount there. They look like big intakes, like the carbs under here. But you take them off, all they are doing really is aesthetically just covering up thermostat and some electrics, and it's the same on the other side, some electrics. The real intake into the airbox is up here, so that's not really, it's not doing anything for airflow. It's just an aesthetic. So interesting taking it apart, seeing the real guts of it. Also, as you might have noticed there, this is not a fuel tank. It is in fact just a cover for our coolant and our airbox and some electrics and stuff. The fuel tank on this bike is in fact over here in the rear triangle. And so you flip part of the seat forward and take the fuel cap out in order to fill it. So actually it's quite interesting, this bike. It's a little bit different. There are some other bikes with different fuel tank arrangements. Some sports bikes and stuff have weird kind of airbox arrangements up here, or really slim tanks that go over the top. The GL, like the Goldwings, have a big tank over here. But yeah, interesting. Something I've not worked on before, so that's another wee challenge to work on. Obviously, because it will be gravity feeding the carbs, because the carbs are actually higher, we've got a fuel pump under here. That's another thing to think about, positions and mounting. Yeah, there's some interesting new challenges that I haven't faced before with this bike. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the challenge. Can you hear the nerves in my voice? This is quite cool. So this is the temperature gauge and the tachometer, and then the sort of dash / idiot lights here. We would quite like to retain this and switch out these gauges and these dials for like modern digital gauges. That might be quite a cool wee touch, so you still get that kind of original sort of 80s dashboard effect, but with upgraded modern units. Now, with all the plastic and 80s, detritus off the bike, we can kind of see the guts and the bones of it a little bit better. I had a good chat with Jon this morning actually about what kind of direction we're going with. So I've got a kind of cool idea that we're not going to be, it's not going to be a complete like hack and redo everything sort of thing, just putting our stamp on the classic sort of VMax styling, trying to make it less of a sort of muscle cruiser and more a sort of roadster, that kind of idea. We're going to try and bring the front end down a little bit, change up the front mudguard, change up the side sort of intake things, switching out the seat for something a little bit more custom, doing custom side panels, replacing the little kind of dash unit here with something again a bit more custom. Yeah, lots of stuff to be getting on with. So I think first things first is to just start, split the bike into sections and start fabricating stuff. We're thinking about changing the mudguard rather than maybe cut that one down or just change it out. So have we look at the options, start front to back and just go. Like there's a few things we want to get so we can begin fabricating stuff, and then yeah, just need to go at it. Well, I hope you're as excited as I am about getting fired into this build and seeing what we can do with it. They're really cool bikes, the V-Maxes. They're so powerful. Everyone you ask about them who's ever had a shot has just said that, you know, they really do pack a punch. So it'd be cool to style it a little bit more in Jon's style, and then yeah, get it back on the road as soon as possible and get some miles on it. So hopefully you will join me in the forthcoming episodes for the little modifications we do to this bike and the rebuild process. I'm pretty psyched to just get fired into it and start cutting things off and modifying and fabricating, you know, the nitty gritty that I enjoy about bike building. Anyway, as usual, please do give me a like, leave me a comment, and make sure you do subscribe to the Shoogly Shed channel. And I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Goodbye.